Bienvenido al hogar de los universalistas unitarios en el centro del estado Washington. My name is Reverend Thomas. I serve as the lead minister of this congregation, and I'm serving as the celebrant of this service. We always practice radical inclusion here. Whoever you are, whatever you believe, no matter how you identify, we welcome you. Everyone is invited to stay with us not only for this service of poetry and exploration, but also for coffee and treats and conversation after the service, both in person and on Zoom. For the folks on Zoom, you'll find the order of service in the chat. And for everyone who's in this building, I could take a moment and wave to the people who are on Zoom in that little camera. We also have another camera over here, which we'll be using later. And now turn around, take a moment to say hello, especially to people that you don't know well. I have a few announcements to state before we get started with the service. Our fiscal year is ending with June, and the next starts in July, and so the terms of many leaders end and start or turn over, and we were looking for people to serve on the new Building Design Committee and as members of the Cascade Governing Board, various other ways. You all should think about volunteering how you want to support this organization, or better yet, volunteer someone else that you know and trust. We have the stewardship drive and other events coming up. There are things listed on the screens and in our orders of service. When we gather, we always acknowledge the land and the people who have lived on this land for centuries. Our fellowship is located in the ancestral homeland of the Pescosa. For thousands of years, the Pescosa were stewards of this land, living in harmony with it, learning its native plants, gathering, fishing, living sustainably. And the Pescosa still live here. We ask you to take a moment to remember the wars, the genocide, the ecocide, the broken promises that allow all of us to have the pleasure and the privilege of living here and working here and playing in this valley. We of this fellowship do not want anyone to feel shame or guilt for being here. Instead, we invite everyone and motivated to not only engage with the land, but to interrupt the ongoing harm towards the land, towards its indigenous people, like the Pescosa, and even towards your own body and soul, which are always of the land. We stand alongside our indigenous neighbors as they continue their traditions and seek to have all their rights recognized. We acknowledge our shared responsibility to create and sustain right relations with each other, which is hard work. We also encourage everyone to affirm right relations with our non-human neighbors, like beavers and crows, so that we all will thrive in this beautiful region. Today is a special day. It's a different day. We'll arrange the chairs differently. It's Earth Sunday, so the central words do not come as a sermon, but they're coming as a collection of several poems by writers in our congregation. In the midst of the chaos of this nation, the anxiety in the world, and in the global climate, these poems have been gathered to share and explore and reground us and celebrate life on Earth. We will also learn about and support the work of Sustainable North Central Washington as part of our worship today, our focusing on what is of highest value. And to call you into the spirit of worship, to call you into the act of worship, which is holding up what is of highest worth, I have a poem written by one of my favorite poets, Amy Genova. If a goldfinch perches on your sill, crooks his head and spots the world in your window like Marco Polo on the Silk Road to China, and you guess what this bird is thinking. If you are on a first name basis with the houses on your block, the Aqua House, the house with the rock and the stripe, the 3-planter geranium house, and you know the owner planted her orange-red flowers like May baskets just to divvy up with you. If each morning you tiptoe into your garden and peer over the embryos of beans, like the faces of children, and your heart sings, "Wake up, little darlings," and they do, with these beans as green as Henry David. And if you shiver in a slip of April breeze under the 9 a.m. sun because for a moment you see the altar of your life, whether it unfurls and loops and hoops of black ink or as an unspoken banners in your heart, then you are a poet called to worship. Now I invite you to rise in the spirit of worship, rise in body or spirit as you're able, and sing a song about our wonderful Blue Boat Home, contemporary lyrics by Peter Mayer, update of an ancient tomb. Symbolize our congregation gathered in principles and in faith. The chalice is solid, like the cup a host raises in a toast of celebration. But this one holds a globe like the earth to remind us of our birth and the rootedness of our bodies. On this globe, we place a fire to lift our spirits higher. We light a flame to recall all who share our name. We light a light to recall what guides us day and night. If the people at home have chalices, please join us now in lighting that. And we will say these words, chalice lighting words, printed a poem about our gathering together, and then I will light the chalice. We light this chalice for the web of life which sustains us, for the sacred circle of life in which we have our being, for the earth, the sky, above, below, and for this community, interconnected, whole, and shining. And now I invite Rita, Salama to come forward, or wherever, I don't know exactly where the performance will happen, but the slides will have the images of the story.
So there will be words on the screen, but they're kind of small because you don't need to read them. They're really for Darius's benefit, so he'll know when to change the slides.
So are there children here today? Let's try to remember. Just one. Okay. So we're always a congregation of many ages, of all ages, but we always allow the kids to go off and have their own fun while the adults do secret things, adult things. And we help them do that by singing a song. Go with each other to find meaning in the spirit of love that we share. Now go with each other to find meaning in the spirit of love that we share. Part of the power of dividing up the chairs and the way, rearranging the chairs the way we did, is that it gets you to see the congregation rather than just the speaker. This is the time in our service that we set aside with reverence to honor the lives and events of our lives that impact us with deep power. It's not a time for politics, not a time for announcements, advertisements. It's a time for reverence and care. A chance to share our lives, both difficult and joyful. Throughout the month, our pastoral care team works to encourage and coordinate the work of our caring ministry. But now we are gathered together to take a moment to think how we can share that ministry. Not all of us will speak, very few of us will speak. We have a responsibility, those who speak, only to share what they have permission to share, to always support one another in the sharing, to always keep our remarks short. Now we welcome anyone to come forward. I'm going to bring the candle down there. And anyone who wishes can use the microphone and light a candle for something to honor or remember. We often have wisdom readings. Today, just one. A poem written in 1958 by Beatrice Schenck-Renier. Keep a poem in your pocket and a picture in your head, and you'll never feel lonely at night when you're in bed. The little poem will sing to you. The little picture bring to you a dozen dreams to dance to you at night when you're in bed. So keep a picture in your pocket, keep a poem in your head, and you'll never feel lonely at night when you're in bed. And in that spirit, we have included little poems in all of the paper orders of service, and there will be more of them laying around after the service. You can share those poems, read them to each other, take them home, trade them like trading cards, whatever you wish. And now the poets of this congregation who wanted to create this service will come forward, beginning with Rita Salama.
So why poetry? This introduction is from Saved by a Poem, The Transformative Power of Words by Kim Rosen. And this is her comment on reading poetry. The poems seemed to know me better than I knew myself. They sparked insights and reflected my deepest feelings more intimately than words alone could touch. For though a poem is made of words, what touches us is between and beyond them. The words might be simple or complex. Of themselves, they have no magic, but together, the words become part of a structure that encloses intimate space. It is possible to speak the mystery, the silence, the unnameable joys and sorrows of the inner reality, to touch the wordless through a gathering of words. There are moments when an unexpected metaphor, or the startling way the poet uses a word, or the rhythm of a particular phrase takes you by surprise, and suddenly you have fallen into yourself, freed of the trappings of your mind. May it be so. And now I'm coming down here to share my poem with you. This is titled Our Mother. Her hair is silver streams of clear water that we run our fingers through. Her belly, the soft white sands of tropical beaches where we doze. Her breath, the great green exhale of the Amazon. Her voice, the wind whining through canyons, roaring with tornado rage and whispering, shh. She wraps us in the soft blue blanket of her atmosphere. Her beauty elicits awe. She wears gowns of her own design, draped over her sumptuous curves, always in the season's trendiest colors. Apple orchard pink, rolling ocean blue, lush leaf emerald, stark snowfield white. Her perfume scents the air, citrus notes from the orange grove, woodsy ones from mossy forest, fresh hint of blooming desert after a rain, and floral undertones from wildflowers everywhere. There can be ice in her blood and fire in her loins, and she gives birth to new isles and continents. She provides with no thought of sacrifice. We two-leggeds think we are her favorites. But she has other children, the four-legged ones, the ones that slither and fly and swim and crawl. She loves them all. We sit with them on her broad lap, lean back against her solid security, watch our rock star father disappearing on his way to a new horizon. We look out at God's open jewel box, treasures strewn across the universe, the twinkle, the sparkle of loose diamonds, spiral galaxy brooches, flashy supernova pendants, black hole rings. We gaze further than our knowing can go to the birthplace of our mother. And now it's time for a pop-up poem. Who's first? I'll come over here so I can hold it for you.
A snail climbs Mount Fuji, but slowly, slowly.
Hello, I'm Marta Florez, and my poem is I Am the Earth. I am the earth is me. I am in you as you are in me. We contain the same ingredients, the same minerals. In order to exist, I need oxygen to breathe. I need water, calcium, potassium to live. You are my home, my only home. You live in me as I live in you. You are my planet. There's no other one. You treat me well. You feed me. You give me all I need. Yet, I mistreat you. I pollute you. I poison you. I destroy you. I cut your trees. I kill your fish. I set you on fire and ignore your needs. I gotta make some real changes and take some caring actions too. I need to work diligently on saving you, on loving you. I need to care for you and move in a new direction. You are my home, my only home, and you need my protection. Thank you. My second poem is to this beautiful city that we live in, Wenatchee. I have been here 32 years, but never get tired of it. I love it every day, looking out of my window. Wenatchee. What's the meaning of the name? I asked some people. They all had a different answer. A story, a supposition. It's the confluence of two rivers merging into one. One person told me. It's the name of a great ruler, Chief Wenatchee, a man of consequence and valor, said another. It's the name of the valley of sunshine and apple orchards, said one more. Well, I still don't know its real meaning, but I have my own answer. To me, it means kindness and generosity merging into one. It's Make a Difference Day, an apple blossom combined. It's the joy of helping others without expectations. It's unconditional love to humankind. It's hellos and smiles, meeting people at the park. It's a wonderful, wonderful community of friends I have grown to know and love. It's also a unique landscape of brown and green mountains side by side. It's snow and rain all in one. It's rainbows arching their colors with the morning sun. It's rivers, lakes, and columns of basalt, making of the landscape a mural of pictographs. is the Columbia River, majestically running through its heart, giving us life and sustenance. It's sublime. It's unique. It's divine, and so much more. It's a place I truly adore.
It's time for pop-up poem number 2.
Old pond, a frog leaps in, water's sound.
Basho. Oh, my name's Amy Genova, and I'm a teacher. And I thought everybody would sit up here like usual, but in my classes, everyone always sat at the back of the room, especially the D students. So I decided to move the microphone back up. My poem is called If Trees Were Babysitters. And I had it in my pocket. If trees were babysitters, they would arrive in clusters, nanny groves, bend their apple-sweet branches to us. No child would go without supper. We'd dip our baby fingers in and out of rivers of bark, climb their breasts, play eagle in the V of their nest, delight in the bud of pine-pungent necks until we ached for our mothers. 1,000 arms would hold us, would shade us, each tree pointing to 1,000,000 more, to the kismet of trees in our light-flecked forest, to the tamarisk and myrrh, to date and dom palms, once burgeoning on the Nile riverbanks in the Valley of Queens, to our treeless cities teeming with cars and art and scattered pine cones. If trees were babysitters, their needle-tressed spires would guide us to the universe of wonder, the moon with its copse of craters, right as riverwood or redwoods, the ocean with schools of fishes, fins and scales like wisteria or magnolias in moonbeams. If trees were babysitters, they would never scold. Only tall silence would meet us, boost us to the boughs from our dung beetle roots and army ant toil. If trees were babysitters, bedtime stories would open on heaven, obsidian sky meadows dotted with cirrus clouds, snow, or stars. Willows would bend over our day-stressed brows and rinse them with silvery white of leaves. We'd sleep like orphans adopted by evergreens, dream with our hearts into heaps of the leafy deeps, leaves falling, leaves budding. We'd wake up with branches of stellar jays in our hair. They would never hurt us in leaving, only in dying. And now it's time for pop-up poem number 3.
Evening rain joining the cat in a yawn.
I'm comfortable. I need to put things down on a podium. Sorry. I can't hold things and talk. Only one thing at a time. I'm Bonnie Orr. Cottonwood Spring. The leaves are burnished green and not full blown. Light streams through the branches, glows off the mossy morel lace bank, and oozes into the water's edge. The big sister of Pussy Willow Spring almost slipped by unnoticed. Trailing along the rutted creek bed, she crept in the open window on a whiff of air. More. An overwhelming presence. It was as if the sallow sun had been folded into gilded shoots. The cottonwood's golden scent, like extra virgin olive oil, flows through the sap, strains at the bud, releases its savory essence, permeates the air, and signals spring's arrival here on Rattlesnake Creek. During this early morning, our first robins sing with delight. They shun their usual shrieks among gauzy colors and the sweet exhalation of spring. We inhale the moist ground, the asparagus, morels, cottonwoods. Later, I know the last snowfall of winter or the first of spring will emerge from these balmy shoots. The billows drift, little skiffs on the creek, and some settle in nest or fill a dowel's pillow with down. Loop Trail. The setting is early June. On the morning side of the Trail of Two Cities, the gray persists in the curves and dips. Birds call from the sunlit places. It's the verge of summer. I ignore my goose-fleshed arms. I will pedal myself warm if I truly push a bit. I scan from sage top to cottonwood for the singer enveloped in the tree's sweet resin. The binoculars lop against my breastbone. My thighs push and release and rise with the bicycle rhythm. The tires whir through cottonwood snow just as a stutter slows me down. An eastern kingbird helicopters to the pavement to snare the still fluttering moth disoriented by the man loping irregularly, a faint resemblance of jogging, his mind caught elsewhere. The kingfisher's shrill voice alerts me just in time. I watch it slash the blue-gray water, but his exit into the morning's glimmer excludes me. This trail never ends. It loops and changes its space and color. Each morning, I wheel out grateful for this treasure, the Apple Capital Loop Trail. Seasons. It is the last trip from the Canner steamed kitchen. Walking to the compost pile by early slivered moon's light in the breath-cool air, I dodge the bare peach branch, which gave me the stickiest of sweet fruit. It is now late fall. The season succumbed to frost. The final tomatoes are rattling in roiling water. Ripe grapes fragrant the house as the windows cloud to create a private world known only to gardeners who savor summer all year long.
So many words and images, feelings. Take a moment to think back on all the voices, brief little haikus, longer poems of glory and wonder. Now we will take the offering. But today the offering is a plate share. This is Plate Share Sunday. Offering is an ancient element of worship. Giving, regardless of the amount, is a spiritual practice. Joyfully sharing our gifts, our strengths, our resources in service to a greater good is a way to create the beloved community here on earth. By sharing, we express thankfulness, we affirm abundance, we manifest generosity. It's a little poem about giving. Today, we will share the plate, which means that all the money that we gather, anything that came in between last Thursday and next Thursday, will go to one organization, Sustainable North Central Washington. If you only want to give to the financial needs of this fellowship, you'll have to make that clear in a notation of the check or put it into an envelope specially marked like that. But otherwise, we share everything that we gather, everything that we take in today to support the work of Sustainable North Central Washington. And to introduce our speaker, we have Nancy Warner to help you understand better what Sustainable North Central Washington does and why it is that we support it.
Oops. Good morning. I'm Nancy Warner, and I'm part of the social justice team here at CUF. And once a month, we sponsor a Share the Plate for an organization that's helping to forward one of the priority issues, social justice issues. And so this month, we're focused on environment and climate change. And so we chose, as a congregation, Sustainable North Central Washington for one of our, for the monthly donation. And here to tell us more about it is Rick Edwards this morning. And Rick has been in the Pacific Northwest since 1976. And he worked for the Forest Service for 32 years. Some of you may know him as a soil, water, and aquatic resource specialist there, and later in grants and agreements. He's been also a master gardener, which I know many of us are, since 2016. And in early 2019, he got involved with Sustainable North Central Washington. And that organization's been around for a while under another name. It was Sustainable Wenatchee for a number of years. But the name was changed, and he currently serves as the board president. And his volunteer work with Sustainable North Central Washington and Master Gardeners. And I wanted to mention, and he shared this, his involvement with a local singing group called the Rusty Barbed Wire Boys. That and his marriage to his wife, Wendy, helps keep him grounded in these challenging times. So we'd like to invite Rick up to talk about Sustainable North Central Washington briefly, and then we have a forum afterwards where we'll have a chance to talk with him more about it.
Well, thank you very much. I want to say we're very honored to have the congregation, the CUF congregation, honor us today. I'm here with my compatriots Lee Alley and Van Brinkerhoff, and they're going to be with us during the forum. So what is Sustainable NCW? It's a local, kind of hyper-local, very small, very active nonprofit. Our mission is basically to promote environmental stewardship. And we do that in many ways, one of which being the main one, to inspire, to inform, I'm not going to use the word educate, to inform and inspire people to live more sustainably. We are secular, we are non-political, which is very difficult to do these days. We are collaborative. Collaboration is the name of the game for us. Sustainable Wenatchee started in 2017. Jana Fishback and Tandy Rowland got together in a Mela mind meld and decided they wanted to put together some organization that would promote sustainability in the valley. They did the 501c3 started in late 2017. In 2022, Sustainable was one of the top, was nominated as one of the top 3 nonprofits in the valley. We didn't quite make it. We had really strong competition. And so prior to 23, back from 2018 to 2023, it was one part-time staff person, an executive director, Jana Fishback, and a board that was started out as 5 and then came up to a 9 at this point in time. Last year, we added a position. Jana worked as a climate action coordinator, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We're in the process of hiring an outreach and education coordinator, so we'll have 2 part-time staff people. We have the same challenges all nonprofits in the valley have. We need more volunteers, and we need more base funding that can support the staff, not necessarily funding that's attached to a specific task or a specific grant. That's a common situation. So what do? I had to make a list. So we started out with, there's been countless classes, workshops, film sponsorships, and events. And we've talked a broad range of things: recycling, composting, purchasing, in a wise manner. That was really, those kind of things were the first things that we did. And that we ended up collaborating with the museum, libraries, PIBUS, and organizations like that. Earth Day Fair is our big flagship event. It's this next Saturday, the 19th, at Wenatchee Valley College. We'd had it at PIBUS. We grew out of PIBUS. We have a great partnership now with Joan Kazi and the sustainability group there at Wenatchee Valley College. So it's next Saturday from 10 to 2. Gianna, she worked with us she stayed with us last year as a climate action coordinator. One of the things she did was pull together some grants to do greenhouse gas inventories and climate vulnerability assessments for the local governments here. We have an idle-free campaign. We came up with an online search directory called the Waste Wizard that I hope some of you know about. It's basically it's a free online service where you can type in a material and figure out how to properly recycle it, repair it, properly dispose of it, donate it, or what have you. We've gotten heavily involved with Rotary and Towards Zero Waste, Apple Blossom Festival, Rails and Ales, and what have you. We've been partnering with Winton Manufacturing Compost Works to help promote the entire organic management renaissance that we need to go through. I won't say any more about that. We're both, Sustainable is a formal member of both solid waste advisory committees for Chelan and Douglas counties. Our big project, not a project, the big program that we're starting this year, we're calling it the Sustainable Bike Co-op. And if you want to learn more about that, we're going to talk about that at the forum afterwards. Basically, we got a grant from the Department of Ecology to set up a mobile bike safety, use, and repair roadshow, basically. And in that, we've had several major things happen. The YMCA is providing us free space for brick and mortar for that. More details at the forum. We just received word that we've gotten two grants from Department of Ecology for doing some video production to help promote the Waste Wizard and also to promote the organic management renaissance. And we're also in the process of partnering with CAFE to broaden what we're going to be doing with the bike co-op, going for high schoolers and middle schoolers and junior high. So what's sustainability? I love this definition. What's sustainable? Meeting our needs in the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So what sustainable has done for me, it's really challenged me since I've been working with the group since 2019. And I think it's helped keep me mentally active and feeling young. So if anybody would like to volunteer, we would have open arms, especially with our bike co-op. We're getting that off the ground right now. So a lot more details at the forum. Thank you. And thank you so much for your donations.
Now, give generously. Generosity blesses us all. It empowers each who gives to feel more connected and empowered. May our gifts here go out into the world to make the world a better place. So be. Amen. Now I invite all of you to stand up as you're willing and able and sing song number 21 in the gray hymnal, For the Beauty of the Earth. Or no. That was the one we just did. For the earth, forever turning. The words are on the screen. The words and music can be found in the hymnal as 163, if you're interested in seeing the music. Walk from the service under the blue-green hills. As we walk from the service into the light, under the sky, near the water, on the great loops of trails. As we walk from the service, may the Spirit and the hope and the commitment of each of us go with us and strengthen us in the days to come. Now please join with me in reading the words that we use to extinguish the flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and embody in our lives until we are together again. Now, our tradition is to try to form a circle. See if we can form a single circle and then sing the song, Carry the Flame.